Welcome everybody. Are you ready?
Oh, I guess so.
Cool. Welcome everybody to Two's Company, Three's a Podcast, Newcastle's #1 film, TV and gaming podcast. My name is Dylan and as always with my co-host
Mitchell. Get your calculators out and get ready to perform a rugby play because it's time for 2C3 Pod Maximum Bible versus Reached. It's alive!
Oh.
It's alive!
Frankenstein.
Well done.
Yes.
Bonus point. What year?
Oh, fuck. Just 19 early something.
Close. 1939.
39. I thought I would have picked like 39. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have picked a bit like in the maybe late 20s.
Yeah, I thought it would have been in the teens, honestly.
Yeah,
probably
Nosferatu was the 20s.
That was 1917 or 18, something like that.
Really early in cinema. What a fantastic year that was.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good one to be alive, man. Good one to be alive.
Absolutely. Welcome everybody to Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. It's a happy Wednesday. We've got a absolutely stacked episode for you this week. Hopefully we can rip through it all within 2 hours.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. We're going to give it a damn good go. But before we get there, let's do our chores for the week. Social medias at 2C3 Pod all across the board. Make sure to head on over there and like and follow and such.
Absolutely.
Yes, we also have PayPal, of course, if you wanted to hit us up. Two's Company, Three's a Podcast at gmail.com. Every dollar you do comes back into the show.
Absolutely. Did you say Patreon before you said PayPal?
No, I didn't.
Excellent.
Speaking of Patreon, though,
Absolutely.
we do have Patreon, of course.
Absolutely. We've got 3 affordable tiers. If go over there and find one that suits you, you get a little goodies back, plus a free sticker, which you certainly will get from now on. But just make sure that you sign up with your address, so that way we know where to send it. But make sure that you're listening to this on your favourite platform, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, everywhere else, and of course,
YouTube.
Big Summer Blowout. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and make sure if you can, it would be very appreciated if you could head on over to Apple Podcasts and give us a quick review, 5 stars, please.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Make sure you review, though, on any platform that you listen on.
100%.
But most importantly, Apple.
Yes.
Because we've dropped in those ranks, haven't we?
No, we're still charting. Yeah,
we're still on the chart.
It's not about numbers, Dylan, unless we reach #1, then we'll talk about that.
It absolutely is about numbers. That's what you're here for, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I just tell them what it's not. Anyway, yeah, it's totally not that important to us. But if you do, and by the way, if you want a rating to count, you need to leave a little comment. So just say, I hate them. And 5 stars. Yay.
You know what? Counts. A little bonus point for those who do want to leave a review. If you do leave a review, I'm happy to shout out whatever you say on there. So that'll
hell yeah.
a little bit of an incentive to try and get some reviews on there. We'll shout out whatever you write, regardless of what you say.
Yes.
If you're listening right now, head over to Apple Podcasts, leave a review, leave us a 5-star. No less.
Yeah,
and leave us a review as well, and we'll shout out whatever you say. If it's to a friend, to a family member, or you're telling us to go fuck ourselves, we'll say it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll read them. Yeah, starting next week, we're going to start reading every review we get on Apple Podcasts.
Absolutely.
100%. All the 100% real reviews we have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, ripping into the news. Again, we hate doing this. We did it last week with Sam Lloyd. And
off the top, though. We've got to do it off the top.
Exactly.
Just to sort of get it out of the way, to pay our respects, and then move into the juicy, fun stuff.
100%. And as you always say, we're not going to sit here and mourn. We're going to celebrate for a little bit. So, unfortunately, the news came today that Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller's father, legendary comedian, has passed away at the age of 92.
Absolutely good run. And I hate it when you hear about celebrities or celebrities' family dying at really young ages. Like in the 50s, for example, Sam Lloyd.
Yeah, Sam Lloyd, I think, was 58, which is just still too young.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So when you hear about actors like Jerry Stiller, for example, who you know as, what's his Papa Constanza, isn't it? Like George's father on Seinfeld. That's the only thing that I can recognize him from personally.
Well, he was in all of he was in like Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. He was in the 2 Zoolander films as well.
He was too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
that's
so
right.
No, he's been across the board in that, but he retired in acting after the last Zoolander in 2016.
Okay, yeah.
So he's been, I assume, just like living out the last few days of his life, last few years of his life.
Absolutely, like a typical old man would, just playing the pokies non-stop until 6 in the morning. Yeah, for sure.
Married to Ben's mother for 62 years.
62 years. It does say here they met in 1958.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. That's a classic story of love where, like, you hear about it, like a lot, like most of your grandparents, most likely listening.
Yeah.
Probably not all of you, and that's fair, but most of them met relatively young and have been together for donkey's years.
My grandparents have been together for, I think they just celebrated 50 years last year.
That's crazy.
Exactly. Like, it's nuts.
I've been married for a month in a few days, and I'm like, wow.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I kid. She doesn't listen anymore.
I'm still. She never did.
No.
Yeah, you're still in the decimals of the years. You haven't even made one yet, man, let alone another 50. Fuck. Yeah,
absolutely.
What was it? Happy wife, happy life, as we just discussed off air?
That's right.
Yeah,
that is true. But yeah, so Jerry Stiller passed away at the ripe old age of 92.
Yeah.
And that's why we say we celebrate the lives of these gentlemen, because they crushed it from start to finish. They didn't die overdosing or doing something they shouldn't be. He died of natural causes, apparently. And we found out through Ben Stiller on his Instagram, I think it was. He just put out a nice heartfelt,
little message on Twitter. We miss you.
Yeah. And that's it. That's unfortunate, but yeah, as I said, it's not totally unfortunate because he was a ripe old age of 92, so he was well within his prime.
And he got to live out his dream as well and make millions and millions across the world happy and laugh. So, I mean, absolutely. And like you said, Seinfeld being the key point for a lot of us young'uns, having seen him on there. But I mean, Festivus and moments like that, he'll forever go down as an absolute bloody legend. 100%.
For sure. Yeah, cool.
All right.
I'm going to let you take this next one because I'm not overly familiar with this.
Well, before I get onto that, I did just want to say that you did add one to the notes, but we've moved it to Trailer Park because it was a brand new exclusive trailer, and we are doing Trailer Park this Friday, so there's a particular trailer that we're both looking forward to. Yeah. All I'm going to say is Joel McHale, Kevin James, okay? But tune in on Friday for that one. That looks really damn good. But speaking
of Lulu Wilson, before you move on, Lulu Wilson, I know a lot of people are like, who's that? But for some reason, I saw her in one movie years ago.
Yeah.
And I've watched pretty much all of her work since because I think as a young actress, she's fantastic. But we'll get more into that in Trailer Park.
I was going to say, it took me watching that trailer to realize it was Lulu Wilson that you wrote in the notes because I thought you wrote Luke Wilson. And I'm like, no, he's not even fucking in this trailer. But then I went back up and went, oh, Lulu. Right.
Yeah. No, that definitely not sense. Luke Wilson. But
speaking of Joel McHale, Joel
McHale, yes.
Joel McHale, yes, big fan of the show. The Community cast, including Donald fucking Glover, so Childish Gambino, as he's now transferred to become.
I noticed that in the article, that everybody goes, even Donald Glover. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't he be there? The dude does everything.
Because he has never gone to one of the Community panels.
Really?
Since he left the show.
That's strange.
Because he's progressed his career. He's become an A-lister, excuse you.
That wasn't even a burp. That was just my throat being like, hell.
Yeah. You swallowed a small pigeon. Yeah. But anyway, because he hasn't been to any of those panels or anything, and it's the first time he's gotten back with them in public. Because he has, in private, met up with them, of course.
So he's a huge wanker. That's the vibe I get.
Just because a busy man?
I get that. But the rest of them are as well. And obviously they've all had a different level of success, but they're all continuously doing things.
Yeah.
And for Donald Glover to be like, you know what, I'll turn up for this one. It's like, dude, I remember watching you in Community thinking you were like the heart and soul. Obviously all of the characters are equally good.
He was.
But for him to not turn up previously...
No, it's not that he's ditched it. He just literally hasn't been able to make it. Like, you know how busy these people are, But now everybody's stuck at home. Hey, you want to do a table read? Yeah. Nah, I've got a thing. Fuck, I can't.
Yeah, you can't get out of this now. Whether somebody's busy it just goes off pure priorities.
I'm not gonna question his passion for the show, though. He's always loved it. He's always spoke fondly of it and stuff like that.
You'd make more time then, wouldn't you?
I've got nothing against Donald Glover. And that's not the point of this. I haven't even finished reading the note to get to what we were doing.
I just wanted to say that before I forgot about it.
No, that's fine. Yes, so they have reunited for a virtual table read of the show that is now filmed and complete, set to release on YouTube May 18th. Which I am ridiculously excited for. When I first heard this, I thought it was a joke. Yeah. I genuinely thought it was a joke because I never thought that would happen again. And it's happened, and I'm so excited.
I read in an article, I say this a lot, I read it in an article. No, I saw it in a headline that I scrolled past on Facebook, that there was rumours that Dan Harmon is gearing up for the movie.
Well,
and it was completely rumour mill, but it's been talked about and speculated for so many years.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason not to do a Community film.
No, absolutely. There was... No, see, that's the thing. As
6 seasons in a movie?
As a Community... absolutely. As a Community buff, I've never not seen a reason to do it.
Yeah.
But now, of course, it gets released on Netflix and it lights the world on fire and everyone's like, this show was amazing. Well, where were you when the show was dying and struggling and hemorrhaging characters like left, right and centre?
Well, that's the saving grace of these kind of platforms. It probably costs them nothing to put it on there and it gets distribution for everybody.
If this ends up in the film finally being made for Community, I've got zero complaints. It just sucks that there's bandwagon fans who jump on, to the thing very late.
Hey, I hate...
It's like Sons of Anarchy with our fucking group, man. I swear to God, I watched that show every week, episode after episode. Nobody watched it, had nobody to talk to, and then years later, I believe it was Jen. Shout out Jen and Jono. I believe it was Jen who's like, "Have you watched Sons of Anarchy?" I'm like, "Where were you? Where were you?"
Dude,
I've been watching this for years.
That's not just TV shows. That's been happening.
But then Catherine and Steph jumped on, and oh my God,
I'm about halfway through, I think, but I watched that years ago.
Yeah, no,
but
of course.
I know exactly where you're coming from, but I see it from a different perspective. I'll tell somebody about a band, like, you've got a mutual interest in music, and then I'll tell them, hey, listen to this, and then 3 years later, oh yeah, somebody told me about it. It's like, yeah, where were you when I wanted to talk to you about it? Back then you were like, but it happens to everybody. You have something that you enjoy, you want to share it with your friends and family, and then they just don't care until like 4 years later, and you're like, well, guess what? No. I've got nothing to talk about. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
I get it.
No, I completely get that. But either way, man, I'm very excited for this. I'll be tuning in on May 18th to be able to see it and watch it because it sounds like it's going to be hella fun. They picked the... It's going
to be hell of a fun. I'm saying this now. I've picked this up on the weekend. As soon as anybody says hella, I'm just going to repeat what they say with hell over.
Okay, cool.
And make it sound ridiculous.
Well, come May 18th, it's I'm hella keen to be able to... Keen. Yeah, but I'm hella keen to be able to... I'm hella keen to be able to... I'm very keen to be...
There we are.
I'm very keen to be able to sit down and watch this. They're rereading the script for season 5, episode 1.
Oh, okay.
So Chevy Chase has already left the show.
Yep.
Donegal is about to, so it's like that happy in-between medium. So,
yeah, okay.
No, but either way, I'm excited to, and I enjoy listening to Ken Jeong and John McHale's podcast. That's a good bit of fun as well. Yep. So that's all well and good.
That's interesting for you. Yeah, that's cool.
It's hugely interesting for me.
I've tried to watch table readings before. Obviously, this is in a different setting because it's all going to be sort of in the comfort of their own homes on separate screens, that kind of deal at the moment. But I've tried to watch like table readings of certain things, and not just table readings, for example. But the last one I tried to watch was what was it? It's they all sit around a table and they're all a bunch of comedians. There was Adam Sandler, there was Robert De Niro, there was Adam Driver, I think it was Chris Rock and somebody else. And they're all just at a table and it's like an hour just discussion amongst themselves.
Oh, okay. So there was no script or anything. It was just them talking.
Yeah. Oh. And it was, I watched like 5 minutes. I was like, I can't do this.
Oh, really?
They're all going, I'm a big fan of yours as well. And I really like, it's just like,
yeah, they've got to do the quick blowjobs to start off with.
I don't really even think it's that. I think they're just, they get people together who have either never met before.
Yeah.
But everybody's heard of, and they're just forced into an unscripted conversation.
Oh, okay.
And because they're actors, they're used to scripts. They kind of and they don't really know what to talk about. So, like, Robert De Niro is telling Adam Sandler that he loves his work. I bet Robert De Niro hasn't watched one Adam Sandler movie. Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine he would have. No. I mean, I cannot imagine Robert De Niro sitting there and just watching The Waterboy going, that's funny.
Yeah, that's right. No. So, like, it just... I mean, I love Adam Sandler. I love every single actor that was on that panel.
Yeah. But it just collectively, it just did not mesh well.
Yeah, I think it's a variety thing. It's on their YouTube channel. I'm sure
that's where this article was from.
But it could, maybe I just thought of that because like I saw it in my peripherals.
Potentially, yeah.
Or as a GQ. I don't care. It's on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't watch them.
No, that's fair.
So, but
I get that.
This is coming from
scripted.
But not only that, this is coming from a group of people who are friends.
Oh, yeah, no, so exactly. There's
going to be some fun had here.
So. John McHale and Ken Jeong have such an interesting relationship. They are legitimately best friends, but they will never speak nicely of each other.
Yeah.
They will forever criticize each other.
That's why they have a podcast.
And I absolutely... Oh, shit. But, that's why I love John McHale because of the show having its cult following, kind of success, not success, then getting cancelled, but it ran... coincidingly with Parks and Rec. He forever refers to my show Parks and Rec. He just calls his show Parks and Rec.
Yeah, okay.
He never says Community. It's always like Parks and Rec. Like Ken Jeong and I, who are stars of Parks and Rec.
Are they similar in any way? Because I haven't watched Parks and Rec. I've seen clips of it.
No, Community is completely like... Oh, they're both obviously completely scripted, but Parks and Rec is like The Office set out like a mockumentary.
Okay. And Community is obviously...
But, I mean, very similar senses of humour. You know,
so for sure. Well, probably what similar... I mean, I wouldn't say the same writers, obviously, because one's down. I don't know who it is.
Greg Daniels, but The Office.
Oh, yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Cool. So, but no, I'm very excited for that. May 18th, I believe that is May 19th for Australia. So if you're a fan of Community, check it out. If you haven't heard of Community, check it out. It's available on Netflix now. Quick shout out to Stan. They've had Community on there for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
and it's still there on Stan as well.
Really?
So if you've got Stan...
As well as Netflix Australia.
Yeah, because it's Stan.
Okay,
I guess they just...
Does anybody besides you have Stan? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I know my mum shares my account, so that's pretty close. But
speaking of Netflix and speaking of Dan Harmon, one thing I discovered today is that there's a new episode of Rick and Morty. And
I did see that.
Yeah, and I watched it. It's bonkers, and I can't really explain it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't even try, because I saw it last night and was like, oh, shit, but I was hooked on another... Are we just doing what we've watched now? Because...
Actually, I didn't add it to my what I've watched because they're more review likes. I'm just happy to mention this.
Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, well, I'll just briefly...
We'll talk about it once we've both seen it.
Yeah, okay, awesome. We'll do that, yeah. But no, I've now watched the first 6 episodes of The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary.
I saw that today.
Series. Yeah, no, it's been like killing it across the world. Okay. Like, it's been airing on ESPN. It's a co-produced series.
Yeah, right.
And it's incredible because the footage for the documentary portion of it, in 1997, 1998, Michael Jordan's last year with the Bulls, and the last year they won their 6th championship, they allowed camera crews to follow Michael and the team around exclusively behind the scenes everywhere they went.
That's cool.
But with no intention of using that footage until Michael Jordan approved it. And here we are.
Really? So,
and here we are 23 years later, and they're finally... No. It was just a matter of, like, they've been trying to sell it for 20 years and stuff, like two studios and stuff like that to produce it and be able to fund it and stuff. And it finally just came around that Michael was like, yes, that sounds good. Let's do that. And it's all all telling all behind the scenes.
That'd be very interesting. But at the same time, imagine being the people who made that, being like, why the fuck are we holding on to this? How long ago was that, did you say?
97, 98.
Yeah.
So 22 years they've been holding on to this footage, waiting for the right kind of meshing and
straight to Netflix.
No, Netflix and ESPN. It's airing live on ESPN each week as well. So, it's fantastic, man. I absolutely love it. You know, I'm a Bulls fan, and it's just fascinating, all of this footage and seeing the behind the scenes, and it's great. I love it.
But speaking of Rick and Morty,
yes,
as of this episode airing, there is a new episode dropping today.
Oh, so there's going to be 2 when I get home.
There's 4.
Oh, what?
Well, actually, so there is a release schedule. I don't have it written down here, but I did see it. So as of the release of this episode being the 13th of May, there's going to be another one. So you'll have 2 waiting for you.
Yep.
Then another one, I think. The final 2 of season 4 will be released in a week's time, and a week after that, I believe.
Okay.
So there's 4 more to come that you haven't seen. I've watched the most recent one, so I've got 3 to go.
But I see that now. Yeah. Okay, so you're absolutely right. So there's 2 as of today, and then there'll be 1 next week, or next Wednesday, and then a week after that, there's another 2. So so there's 4 more episodes. Well, 5 more in total, including the 2 that have come out today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I got there in the end.
So you've and the most recent one I watched is. It's your typical Rick and Morty, like, it's crazy.
Of course.
I'm not going to... The thing is, like, even if I wanted to explain it, like, give a bit of a plot detail, like, I can't say anything without spoiling it. You just have to watch it, because it's fucking bananas.
No, that's awesome.
But Solar Opposites is out now.
Oh, okay.
And you can't watch it in Australia without a VPN. So
really?
Yeah, because it's on HBO or one of those Hulu, I think it is.
God damn, that frustrates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Another thing I found out, Trolls World Tour.
Yep.
Okay, so that one got... Its cinematic release got cancelled, and it was like on demand, and it made like $100 million in on-demand rentals in the first week or something.
Yeah. Not Australia?
No, Australia. They just pushed back the cinema release date to September 17th.
Oh.
Why are you doing that to us,
that's what I
DreamWorks?
Because we've talked about Trolls World Tour, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, when am I going to start seeing it pop up in advertisements and things like that? And I was wondering why. Not that I'm going to go searching for it.
No, and it's not like she's like upset or anything like that, but my daughter has asked to watch it. Because I was like, it's going to come and we'll be able to watch it at home soon for the last 4 weeks.
Actually, no, you misinformed.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's right. Because, why are they doing that to us? We're not that big of a market. We're going to make $5-6 million for it. Australia doesn't have tens of millions of dollars for new films and stuff.
What would be a bigger box office? What would be a bigger bankable success? Would it be releasing it in cinemas to people who are disinterested because it's been out everywhere else for so long, or just releasing it on VOD?
Exactly.
Video on demand, for those who don't know.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I've already heard whispers around some people that I'm aware of that have been watching it through VPN.
Yeah.
So what the hell is the point of making us wait another 5 months?
I think regional restrictions are ridiculous. I don't know the reason there are regional restrictions, whether it's licensing or whatever else, but because you can literally purchase VPNs that are freely available to anybody who wants them now, so that way you can tap into other regions of the earth and watch things at your leisure. Fair enough, it costs a bit of money, but there's 1,000 of them these days, and they're all offering massive discounts for whatever reason.
Yeah,
they all work, and you can watch this shit. So I don't see why that they would continue having restrictions. And even if there are restrictions, just I can't really say we'll just remove it, but you can the companies that place these restrictions have other properties viewable in other regions. Exactly. So just do the same thing you did there with this new I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I don't understand it either. But either way, I'm upset just as much as my daughter that we can't watch Trolls until fucking September.
Yeah, because I want to watch that film.
And I'm not paying for a VPN unless we get a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this episode is sponsored by...
yeah, exactly. Insert VPN name there.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we do have a sponsor that we've got to mention off the top.
No, stop it. Who is it?
It's Gun Gear and...
Are we doing it?
No, we're not doing the full one right now. We just forgot to mention it off the top of the episode.
How long until we do it?
Give me 1 second while I stall through. We've got 10 minutes. Let's just wait.
No, I was going to say, let's just do it.
Let's just rip straight in, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Gun Gear and Graphics, you say?
Yeah, Gun Gear and Graphics. At the moment, we have a sponsor right now. Gun Gear and Graphics has done our makeover, essentially. If you look at the screen
not
down...
Not our faces, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately not. You can't go that far. But if you look down to the bottom corner of the screen, if you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else...
On our social medias?
Absolutely. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that jazz. All of our new graphics and designs have been handcrafted meticulously through Gun Gear and Graphics. Now, if you're a small business, YouTuber, Twitch streamer, podcaster, whatever it may be...
Sick cunt.
Yeah, sick cunt. Any sick cunt with an online presence and you're looking for new professional quality, high quality, affordable and fast turnaround graphics, digital graphics, hit up Gun Gear and Graphics and they'll sort yourself out.
Not just graphics though.
Graphics.
Heard and seen some of the quality merchandise and apparel he has made for wrestling in particular.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
my lord, he puts that is all handcrafted work. And if you head over to his socials, Gun Gear and Graphics on Facebook and Instagram, you will see some of this work and it is just absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely. So not just the logos as we mentioned, but handcrafted local wrestling gear for anybody who is getting into the wrestling scene no matter where you are in the world.
I was going to say, did you say local?
Because
local. He's shipping across the country even.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
absolutely. He does have clients outside of Australia too, so you know he's good. Nothing but 5-star reviews on Facebook. You can find him at Gun Gear and Graphics on Facebook and Instagram. You can certainly contact him there and find out his work. But not only that, new product released as of last week. He's doing full body caricatures of you as well. So if you've got that online presence where you want like that animated cartoon vision of yourself, he can certainly do that for you as well.
Absolutely. Make sure to check that out. That's Gun Gear and Graphics. Gun with 2 N's. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Thank you very much for your support.
Yeah. All right, moving into the next one we had something that you put in here about James Cameron.
I didn't put it in here, but let's do it. Yeah,
Whoops,
you certainly did.
My bad.
Anyway, let's talk about this for 1 minute because
very quickly.
I'm fucking sick and tired.
Well, we've been good at avoiding it.
No, but not only that, but we've talked about it a lot.
Oh.
Just talking about the Avatar sequels.
Oh, those. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the scheduling conflicts.
No. Like, I'm fucking sick to death of talking about Avatar.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, let's use this as a segue to now here in Australia, we're softening a little bit. We've got a step plan to try and reopen things and stuff like that. And Dylan, it could be next month we get to head back to Event Cinemas Glendale.
For sure.
And watch a fucking movie.
We won't be able to whisper at each other going, that was funny. We'll have to yell across a few seats going like, Mitchell, that was a funny scene. Ha 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 ha. Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, dude, I don't care.
Wait,
I am
to be able to go back to the cinema.
Excited. I've been saying since day dot of all this lockdown shit and when they closed. The first day they are back, I'm going at least twice. Yeah, I'm going twice, man, minimum.
That's if you'll be able to get in.
I don't give a shit. I will pre-purchase the second they say when they're open, and I don't care if it's fucking Australian Army wives or some shit on the big screen. I'm sitting in those chairs with the. I'm sitting in those chairs with that fucking popcorn and I'm going to just I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I am so geared up, man. So the scheduling conflict restrictions have started to ease a little bit and we're tiptoeing our waters back into reality a little bit here in Australia.
Yep.
And as long as people respect the shit that we've been working on, you know, the social distancing, the cleanliness and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We've got a chance.
Yeah,
we've got a chance by the end of the year to be back to normal. So please, everybody, keep up with all your social distancing and shit like that for your scheduling conflicts.
Wash your hands, shower regularly, and don't spit on things.
You know what's crazy? That sounds like, what is it?
Planet Earth.
Regular fucking life.
Regular hygiene, that people don't know about.
Just be normal, please. Okay?
Yeah, but anyway, actually, don't be normal because normal got us where we are now. Be better.
Yeah, that's true.
Always be your better self.
No more bats lingling.
That's right. So... Racist alarm! Racist alarm!
What are you talking about?
It's true, though, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. No, China won World War III without firing a gun. Whoa! I had to say it.
Anyway, yeah, so James Cameron's billion-dollar Avatar.
We are actually going to talk about it?
As I said, 1 minute, okay. Yeah. So it's... New Zealand is opening what do they call it? They're getting back to work, essentially, with making these films because they're being produced in New Zealand. Life. That's right.
They're reopening Life.
Absolutely. Their Prime Minister has crushed it when it comes to looking up...
fucking murdered it.
Yeah, looking after her citizens and her country. So New Zealand is getting back to work on producing the Avatar sequels, but the news surrounding that is not just getting back to it, but the cost that's been announced essentially for Avatar 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, really?
That it's a fucking billion-dollar production working on those sequels. And that makes total sense, but god damn it, who's paying for that?
That's insane. Yeah. Okay, so they're investing $1 billion in a film that...
No, three films, sorry. 2, 3, and 4. It's they're not. It's not $1 billion to make $1 billion back.
Okay, what about 5? Was that just those 3?
There's a 5.
Yeah, there's 5 Avatars, dude.
Okay, actually, well, it says here that means Avatar 2 and 3. So
yeah, so
wait, hold on. Avatar that 2, 3, and 4. We've got release dates here. Okay, so Avatar 2, December 17, 2021. I don't think that's going to get a turnaround within a little over 12 months. That's going to be a fucking hard slog for the producers. But then we've got Avatar.
Surely they've finished that fucking thing.
I have no... Well, we only got concept art a little while ago. We started talking about this episode...
Yeah, but it's been a secret.
3?
Yeah, I know. I've still got a $5 bet. Yeah.
Any bet that James Cameron has been working and slaving his staff throughout this entire COVID thing. I don't know why, but I'm all of a sudden really sour towards him after Terminator. I'm just like, fuck this dude.
Dude, no, I'm sour with him with the fact that we got Avatar and then he's like, yeah, there's going to be 4 more, but you're not going to get the next one until 2021. It's like, dude, fuck you.
Dude is completely relying on the fact that people still give a shit.
Exactly.
They will.
Exactly.
But anyway, so we've got Avatar 3 on December 22nd, 2023. So as we said many, many, many years ago, it feels like it's booked in for Christmas. Avatar 4, December 19, 2025, and Avatar 5, December 17, 2027.
Yes.
Man, like,
you know what's crazy? At the latest, we have until the beginning of 2028 when we can finally stop talking about Avatars.
Yeah, but by then he'll be like, number 6 is on the way.
Number 6 is on the way. It'll be due here 2042.
Listen, I get it. I get Avatar. The first one was an okay film. It was revolutionary with its technology, but
that's the thing.
After starting this podcast and becoming a bit of a prude and wanting better films, I tried my best to avoid that.
Honestly, I would prefer at this stage an actual James Cameron Titanic 2.
Yeah.
Like where they dug the wreckage up, but then all of a sudden somebody put a voodoo curse on it and the ship got glued back together.
Ship.
Exactly. And everyone was there in a foggy haze and it's like still 1927 there. You know?
Well, actually, they are
20s.
They are launching Titanic 2 relatively soon and it's actually real and it's going to follow the same path as the original. So James Cameron...
I hope that iceberg's still there.
James Cameron could make a sequel... but based on a real-life event that happened only a year ago when the Titanic 2 crashed.
I bet you $5 he puts a hit on the ship.
He's
got like $2 million to a hitman who could sink that bad boy so I win another Oscar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyway,
either way, Avatar, we can move on from this. Okay?
I'm sick to death of it.
All right. Hey, let's do a proclamation here.
Okay.
Let's not talk about Avatar again until we have a visual trailer.
Done.
Okay, video. Yeah, let's do it.
Social distancing. Yes. Absolutely.
We've never spoken about it.
Yeah, and we've just talked about people about
stay 6 feet away, people. Yeah. Okay? All right, we've been doing it.
Anyway, so I agree with that. No matter what news comes out regarding characters or actors or budgets or release dates, we're going to keep it clean until we get an actual trailer.
That's right. And if you care about Avatar, let us know, and maybe we'll put it on Patreon and pay us for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. If you want to hear more of our opinions about what we just said. Anyway.
No more Avatar.
Yeah, sure. But speaking about sequels, this is another article that you added into the list, which I had a good read through today, and I really wanted to get in, have a bit of a discussion about this.
Absolutely.
So from slashfilm.com, they've put out a little bit article, which is little descriptions about the possibility of future sequels for certain franchises. First off the list is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Now, obviously being the biggest video game movie ever. And they say it's working towards it, but it is. They say quietly becoming. No, it definitely is.
It is domestically, meaning in the US, but I don't think it's beaten Pikachu worldwide yet.
Okay, so Pikachu, it's like Detective Pikachu was a good film, but honestly, personally, I think Sonic, being an original sort of IP, like coming off the back of a franchise which has technically been kind of dead for a while in terms of the game. The film is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed Sonic a lot more than Detective Pikachu, even though I'm more of a Pokemon fan.
I literally fell asleep during Detective Pikachu. Not that it was a bad film. I just remember being kind of bored. I just liked the idea
of... It was Jigglypuff, wasn't it?
I just liked the idea of like the live action kind of animated Pokemon. That was cool. But overall, they're saying that everybody's like on board to do it. But the only reason they want to do it is to make sure like they get it right, obviously, first time. Like, and I'd imagine they're kind of waiting for, Paramount to greenlight it because they haven't greenlit the sequel yet. Obviously,
Jeff Fowler the director said that that's what they're waiting for.
That's right. Obviously, after the meddling, essentially, that was Sonic the first one, the Sonic the Hedgehog. I'd imagine Paramount would be kind of hesitant because they then had to spill another $5 million on top of it. But then it made its money back.
Not only that, but it turned out well. It turned out well, and they've already got that set up for the next one, so they don't have to fuck around with it again.
They can include Knuckles and Tails.
Not only
like
that,
they did.
I mean, come on, sequel bait at the end, hardcore.
Oh, the mushroom, they could eat
the mushroom. Remember that, of course, but then also, I mean, Tails.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they've got.
If there's not a sequel, there will be tens of people who are pissed.
Yeah, absolutely. But that film, as you said, like it tells its own story. It doesn't lean too hard into the actual source material, but I think it does it in a way that works really well. 90% of video game movies, they either try too hard to get the source material right and fuck it up.
That's right.
Or they don't do it at all and fuck it up. I think this one's just like, hey, here's some of it. Here's Sonic's homeworld that you used to. But this is why he's here, and this is what he does in this town, So there's definitely sequel potential there and how they set that up. But
100%.
I understand why Paramount is kind of hesitant, but I think they should look at this and go, listen, we crushed this.
Yeah, no,
there's no reason for this not to have a sequel, considering everything gets a sequel. If anything deserves a sequel.
Not only that, I mean, if they can score Jim Carrey again in that role, I mean,
Jim Carrey himself has said that he really thoroughly enjoyed Dr. Eggman. So,
well, not only that, I was going to say, I feel like the way that character ended.
Yeah.
You're going to get such an even crazier Jim Carrey. Like, he was already a bit nutso, but my God,
he turned full Eggman.
Exactly. That's right. So, no, I'm all about that, man. But the next one on the list is one that you, in particular, are very geared up for,
yes. And this is one where she said she'd love to complete the trilogy, and they've got it all mapped out, but they want to do it right. Now, this is Happy Death Day, a very, very surprising hit from Blumhouse, which everybody kind of expected to be yet another sort of Truth or Dare or, PG-13 kind of slasher, which in essence it was, but it had a very fascinating concept.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy Death Day 1, what's her name? The main actress in it. I've only ever seen it, Jessica Roth.
Yeah.
Or Roth. I'm going to call her Roth.
Yeah, I'd say Roth. There's no E.
Jessica Roth is the...
Oh, no, there is an E.
Anyway, Jessica, the star...
Rothay.
Jessica Rothay starred in Happy Death Day, which very, very short premise. She dies, and then the day resets like Groundhog Day. That's it.
I was going to say, it's a horror thriller, Groundhog Day. That's
absolutely
it.
with hints of comedy throughout. Anyway, Happy Death Day 2 leans heavily into the comedy and the science fiction behind it. And it's equally as good, if not a better film. And she puts in a stellar performance in both. I think she, as an actress, is fantastic. She's up there. For me, she's up there with Samara Weaving. But the only problem is that I've only seen Jessica Roth in this. I think she'd be fantastic if she branched out a bit. Anyway, Happy Death Day 3 has been written, apparently, and it's been swirling for a while, and they do want to turn this into a trilogy.
Yeah, why not?
But, Happy Death Day 1 and 2, they weren't overly massive box office successes.
Yeah, but at the same time, with the critical success that it's gotten, I feel like they've made a ton of money off on-demand rentals and things like that.
Right,
I think that's where a lot of the audience does lie. Like, this isn't going to break any box office records, that's for sure. It's the type of film that it will make... Exactly, but it will make its money back at the box office, and then everything else is gravy. And I feel like the gravy is pretty good with these films. So
that's right.
Why not just finish it off?
If Blumhouse is putting the money towards making films like Fantasy Island and Truth or Dare, for example...
That's right.
Isn't a bad one, but it is kind of, I don't see why they shouldn't. Fair enough, they're not massive box office draws like Halloween or something like that. But I think there's enough people who are familiar with the Happy Death Day franchise after seeing the two, and I reckon they could really close us off with a third. I'd be super excited about that.
And I think with the box office for the third one, they would get a lot of people who say, oh, you haven't seen them? All right, come around, we'll watch them, and then we'll head off and see the third one. Like, you'll love them. Like, that kind of thing. there's going to be an audience there. It'll make its money back. It's not going to be a failure. They're not going to lose money off it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Take a bloody chance. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. And I'd love to see the return of all of the characters and that return of that concept as well, because I just find it fascinating.
It's fun,
and
man. It's
as
fun.
I said already 100 times, Jessica Roth as the main actress.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name in the movie. It's been a while, but she's just phenomenal. Tree, that's right.
How could you not remember
But
Tree?
she even said in her little sort of note saying like 5, 10 or 20 years, if we could pull off a Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween and Tree comes back as a badass 50-year-old. Like,
that's cool that she's looking at that. Like, she must really adore this franchise.
Yeah, she could go off and come back to it in 50 years, or 30 years time and go, I'd still be happy to do it.
But also incredibly smart, being like, if my career doesn't work out, can I come back to this?
The fallback plan.
Yeah, that's right. But no, absolutely all about that, man.
Take the next one, man.
All right, the next one we have.
Yeah. Interesting.
1, 2, 3. Freddy's coming for you.
Better lock your door.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, no.
It's not going to help.
But apparently the future of Nightmare on Elm Street has some potential.
And we hear about this quite often, and you always hear speculating stories, and I think everybody's already aware, without it actually being confirmed, that there are scripts out there for a Nightmare on Elm Street, either sequel, reboot, prequel, whatever it may be. I think the best thing that could happen for this franchise right now is probably a soft reboot, kind of like Evil Dead.
Okay,
where it's not a direct sequel, it's not really a reboot, it's just kind of a reimagining, essentially, of a similar concept, but have Robert Englund.
Yes. See, I want him back. I want to see him back, but at the same time, I would absolutely adore if they took a chance on somebody new. I know they did, but took a chance on somebody new, and it worked.
Well, that's the thing.
That's all we need. Like, as in, yes, if it's Robert Englund, you're going to get some audience back. You're going to get some respect. Doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Well,
that's the problem. They need to try again. And man, we're going to have this conversation every 10 years, but they need to try again with somebody new. And if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't stick, give it a sequel and just see if it can,
Well, that's the thing. I think that's kind of where a lot of production companies may be frightened because they've done that. And inherently, I don't think A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake with Jackie Earle Haley, is inherently a bad film. I think it's quite good.
It's not.
It's...
No, sorry, I'm agreeing with you. You know what I mean?
I was like,
no,
what are you trying to say?
A bad film. Yes, no, let me finish that sentence.
Yeah.
But the problem there was the fact that it was still, it still made money.
Yeah.
But because of the critical reaction, they just freaked out. They were trying to spawn sequels off it. It made money. If a movie like that, with the budget, if they did it now with that budget and made that money, it would have a sequel greenlit 2 weeks after.
Oh, yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, okay, if you're going to do it with Robert, great. That's awesome. Do it with Robert, 100% down. But make sure it's fucking good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and if you're not
all try.
That's right. But if you're not going to do it with Robert, that's fine. Commit to at least 3 fucking films.
Yeah, okay.
Because
so we've already had
we've
already had a bit of an episode speculating who could play the next Pinhead.
Yes.
If we're gonna, we've kind of already done that. We need to clip that.
We don't need to clip it. We need to
make a new one.
Sit down and make a new one for Patreon.
Yeah, for
Patreon,
sure.
Two Scummy Threes podcast.
Yeah, but I think we should also have another one of who would our top picks be if if they were to greenlight a new Nightmare on Elm Street film and Robert Englund for whatever reason wasn't cast, who would play Freddy Krueger?
Will Arnett.
Yeah. Oh, know what? He could do voices, man. Cover him in the makeup.
Yeah.
We're doing this. Okay, well, no spoilers for our future list, but I'm writing this one down.
Yeah, no, write that one down. But honestly, yeah. And that's the thing. If you've tuned in before, you might know this. But when we take stabs at who we think will play a particular serious role, a lot of the time we want comedians to break into that. So, Will Arnett, I'm all about
Chris Rock in Saw. Jordan Peele in anything he's doing. Comedians can bring the horror when they want to.
Speaking of Saw, like Legacy or whatever it was called, what's happened to that?
Oh, well, I'm guessing they're still holding out.
Yeah, because that was due... that wasn't due for... That was due for around June or July.
Yep.
Because, I was like, it's going to be weird to not be able to see
I think they're
Saw movie in Halloween.
Because we haven't heard of it, I think they're incredibly confident with it, and they're holding out for a cinematic release.
Yeah.
Because I've seen...
imagine when the cinemas open worldwide after all this shit, man.
Amazing.
The box office is going to be nuts. So there would be so many films that are already slated around that time. Because I had a look recently, and there's nothing for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But then come mid-June, there's still Mulan sitting there and there's still another couple sitting there. And I'm like, oh, man, if that's the opening weekend, they're going to kill it.
James Bond as well. Like, that's going to be a fairly decent draw. Yeah.
But, it's going to be a decent draw regardless, but it's not going to get those, like, COVID
fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiots like us.
Exactly. They're just like, I cram it all down my throat.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Next one as well is, did you still want to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, that's all good. I just really hope that they can do it right.
Yeah.
I just want to see some sequels.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get to live through the amazing, like, 7 shitty fucking sequels that it was Nightmare on Elm Street, so they just kept making them. Could you imagine it, like if there was a franchise right now of that and we got to go and see these shitty sequels and criticize them, but there's a new one next year?
But also be excited about them.
Exactly.
Because in my, what did I watch?
Yeah.
I'll spoil a little bit before I talk about it. I watched Annabelle Comes Home. Yeah. Anyway,
there's a reason I've never given those a chance, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, so, moving on, my friend.
Not all horror sequels would we be get up for if they start out good and end up shit. But I did I'm not going to talk about this in my at home what I watched recently, but I did rewatch Hellraiser 1 and 2 on the weekend.
I saw.
Yep. Oh man, Hellraiser 2, as much as I love that film, there is so much just running through the labyrinth.
Yeah.
And it just takes up so much time. And I'm like, this is boring. And then the other Cenobite doctor, I recommend amputation, comes on screen. And I'm like, I'm in love again.
Yeah.
That movie wastes a fucking shitload of time.
It's just a lot of filler. And then you get to the good stuff.
But still amazing. But lovely. Next on the list of potential sequels, and this one's been speculating for years, and I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think it really should.
No, I don't want it to because it might sour the taste of the classic original for me that I love to death.
That's right. And I don't think it's been long enough for them to do a full hard reboot on this yet. Give it another 10 years.
No.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, man. Yeah. I absolutely adore that film so much. Edgar Wright made an absolute cinematic gem that turned into an absolute cinematic bomb.
Yeah, but not following.
It's monstrous, and if Michael Cera was down for it, I might. Yeah. I might be interested in seeing Scott Pilgrim and I can't remember his girlfriend's name.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. But I don't know the name's character.
Of course, exactly.
Name.
We know who plays it, that's for sure. But I would love to see them when they're like 45 doing this. Yeah. Like, I feel like that would be a hella fun if it was like 20 years later.
It would be a hell of a fun.
Yes, it would be. But either way, no, I don't want this to happen, but if it did, I would not complain.
Yeah, for sure. I think that happens with a lot of films. In saying that, though, like, fair enough, this would be Edgar Wright's first sequel, essentially. Yeah. But not only that, at the time, Michael Cera, as gawky and weird as he was a main leading actor. He was a box office draw. Yeah, does he still have that in 2020?
Well, I don't think...
Would this be a comeback or would this be a flop? Because the first one technically was, would people then flock to the cinemas to see this being 10 years later?
I think it would be a comeback because I know Michael Cera's a dick off screen and stuff, and I know some people don't like him, but I love him. Yeah, like I've seen so many films where I'm like, he was great.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean. He's been good in everything he's been in.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is he a box office draw though?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I reckon in 5 or 6 years, whenever the 20-year anniversary is, if they want to do it then, I would be so intrigued to see those amazing visuals and the directing and the style they did with like mid 40-year-old people with like 2 kids. You know, that kind of like silly fun.
Scott Pilgrim was based off a comic book? Was Scott Pilgrim
I believe it was a graphic novel.
Graphic novel of some capacity?
Otherwise, it's a completely original property. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either because I know it's definitely based off a comic, but I'm not really sure whether it had like 10 different storylines, whether there's different source material to take off, or whether it was an original story based on those characters about how he's trying to get his girlfriend from all the ex-boyfriends. I don't have a clue.
Yeah. No, it was a graphic novel by Brian Lee O'Malley.
Yeah, cool. Next one, though, was the potential sequel, which definitely got shut down for Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the Evil Dead remake that we got 2014, I think it was?
2013, I believe.
They tried
Oliver was very young.
It's right here. Yeah, so 2013.
Oh, it was, yeah.
They tried to turn that into a sequel by making a new film and then bringing in Ash Williams as himself.
Okay.
So obviously the plans for that started happening, but then Sam Raimi decided he wanted to do Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yes.
And then you can't have those two properties side by side, have this slapstick comedy Ash versus Evil Dead, which is amazing, and then have more of a serious tone going the Evil Dead route at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially with Ash, what did I just say his name was?
Ash Williams.
Ash Williams, yeah. At side by side. So that kind of crushed the plans for the Evil Dead sequel. And you know what? I'm not unhappy about it. because I really fucking like Ash versus Evil Dead.
Exactly.
And I think trying to combine those two worlds, especially becoming the kind of Evil Dead that he has as Bruce Campbell, and the remake as it was, they're just two completely different things.
No, we'll see. That's the thing. If they're going to do anything with this franchise, all I can imagine is a sequel to the other one and just leave that history behind.
Yeah.
Just keep moving forward with a new direction. Like Bruce Campbell, I love him to death, but at the same time, there's no point to drag him back into it.
Yeah, especially, he loves especially in the cinematic thing. But he himself has even said recently that he's hung up Ash Williams. That he's not even doing like any more Ash versus Evil Dead anymore. That was cancelled.
Yeah.
But he's not even interested in coming back. I mean, obviously, if Sam Raimi was like, hey, here's money, he'd probably do it.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We've still got so much news to cover, man.
That's cool. Did we want to talk about the next one? The next one's kind of short, I feel.
All right. The next one. Okay. So do you have any like affiliation with it at all?
So is this the Val Kilmer story?
Oh, I thought, okay. Yep, we moved on from the sequels.
Hold on. Well, there was
one more sequel.
Was
that
there?
Was about,
Sorry.
No, that's all right. It was about Ready to Rumble, the WCW.
Oh, no, I've got no idea.
Exactly,
That's up to you.
The WCW film from 2000 with David Arquette. Anyway, no exciting news at all. It was just a wrestler tweeted to David Arquette like, can somebody hurry up and make a damn sequel to this from 2000? Okay. And David Arquette's like, well, you work for the company that owns half the rights, so, talk to them.
You talk to them.
Talk to them. I could play your dad because she wanted to be in the film. So,
okay.
But anyway, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
Ready to Rumble is fucking hilariously good bad. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, next on the list we had an article here from Val Kilmer.
Yes.
And essentially why he no longer wanted to play Batman after the film. And after reading the article and the statements made by Val Kilmer, I recently watched a YouTube video. I think it was What the Hell Happened to Val Kilmer? It's that YouTube series where they talk about like artists or movies that went into obscurity.
Yeah.
And they're always very respectful. They talk about the history and where they've gone and what they're doing and where they've been, essentially. And they go at the end like, we wish for a safe recovery, blah, blah, blah. They're doing this now. It's all respectable. It's not like, what the hell happened to him? He's a deadbeat now.
No.
The reveal in that video essentially was like, Val Kilmer he rose to fame relatively quickly. He did a lot of interesting stuff when he was younger, turned into a bit of a dick on set, took everything way too seriously. But after his, throat cancer and his struggles with his illness, apparently he's turned around and said, you know what, I was an asshole when I was younger. I took things way too seriously. I should have just had fun with the films that he made. But this one in particular is the reason he only played Batman once.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
Yeah. Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and it turns out there's a story of Warren Buffett. I believe he's a singer. We don't know much about him.
Warren Buffett, I believe, is a millionaire? Hold on.
I feel like he's a guy singer.
All right, so the Warren Buffett that I'm thinking of, obviously I'm well inversed in this. I'm pretty sure he's written like...
unless we're pronouncing it wrong, and it's Warren Buffett, the creator of the buffet.
No, so CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, so he's an American investor, business tycoon. No, definitely not. He's 89 years old. His net worth is $69.8 billion US.
Share some of that, you fuck.
This dude is a tycoon. Yeah, I thought it was that Warren Buffett. I haven't heard of any other Warren Buffett.
I thought it was a singer. It just sounds like... Doesn't it sound like a crooner, like a lounge singer? Like he's like a... I'm going to take
just because he would sing in a buffet
to Christmas. Hey, darling.
Yeah, anyway.
But couldn't you imagine now coming to the stage, Warren Buffett?
Yeah.
And then he's,
Hey, I'm probably sure he did sing in his younger days. I have no idea. But
I'm sure he can sing wherever the fuck he wants with that much money.
Warren Buffett, anyway, the tycoon billionaire businessman visited the set of Batman and Robin during its production. There was rumors that the reason he didn't continue as Batman in the later films was
he was a cunt.
Yeah, well, not only that, but there was like scheduling conflicts that he made up essentially for other films like The Saint. And
they had COVID back then.
Oh, and he was in the mask, and then and him and Joel Schumacher also clashed as well. Schumacher claiming that he was psychotic, and I kind of believe it because he was a young wanker douchebag actor being Batman of all people. But here's the description.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett and his family wanted to visit the Batman film on set. So Val Kilmer dressed up as the Batman.
Yeah.
And it turns out rather than visiting Batman as the character, they just wanted to play with the Batmobile and put on the mask. And Val Kilmer had a self-realization that anybody can be Batman.
Exactly. It's not about the person under the mask. It's the character.
Yeah. So he took that character of Batman way too seriously and put him on such a high pedestal as if he was this enigma, Batman fans, It's a Riddler joke.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Edward Nigma.
But no, essentially what you're trying to say and what the story basically says is the fact that when they turned up, he was like, "Hi," and they're like, "Oh my god, can I play with that mask?"
Yeah.
Not. Oh my god, Val Kilmer, how are you? You know.
Well, it was more like, hey,
So he probably just got a hurt ego and was like, I don't like this anymore.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah. Like it's. Well, it's not even Val Kilmer. I think it's the idea that they Warren Buffett can put on the mask and he's instantly Batman. Like it takes away the speciality of playing such an iconic character, and I think that's a big load of wank.
Yeah, exactly. Like you ungrateful piece of crap.
Yeah, and I mean, fair enough. Like he's the second person to don that cowl, you know, and then it was George Clooney and all that. But it just seems like such a wank.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But all respect for Val Kilmer. Like obviously he's had a tremendous career, and he's turned his ego around. Obviously for horrible circumstances, it may have happened regardless.
But
who's to tell?
Yeah, exactly. But no, stop being so ungrateful, Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure.
But briefly touching on the next one,
Comic-Con.
Yeah, they're going to do it at home.
Yeah, did you watch the 18-second trailer that they released?
No, I didn't.
So Comic-Con is obviously no. So Comic-Con is a massively popular, enormous comics convention that releases trailers and video games and movies and such, and people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's the biggest pop culture event of the
every year. That's right,
100%.
And people spend thousands of dollars there. People wait out in lines for hours and hours and hours for a trailer.
Dress the fuck up.
Dress like crazy. That's right. Comic-Con announced that they're going to reveal Comic-Con at home. They didn't say what they were releasing, which is fine. That'll come later. But the 18-second trailer that they released for it, it was probably the lowest budget looking thing that I've ever seen. It's something that we could have done better on our free software. So essentially, it's a...
I'm muting it, but I'm just... Okay.
It's in like Instagram panel 1080 by 1080, and then it's like it's static imagery of you're at home, you've got personalized snacks, your dog could be there.
Oh, no, it's literally... No, you're completely right. Coming soon, free parking.
Yeah.
Comfy chairs, personalized snacks, no lines.
Yeah.
Pets welcome. Badges for all.
Yeah.
And a front row seat to Comic-Con.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the Comic-Con 2020 at home trailer yet, it's 18 seconds long and it literally just says, "Hey, this thing's still happening," but it doesn't reveal anything. Plus, it's so low budget, crappy. It's a
school project, dude.
You would expect like a cinematic fucking Comic-Con now at home.
Yeah.
You know, it's like at least a minute or 30 seconds worth of trailer.
With the connections they got and the fact that all the celebrities at home, how come they couldn't have had celebrities reading this? Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get 8 celebrities to go, free parking, you know, something like that. Just for funsies.
But, I mean, it's still happening between July 22nd to 25. Well, that'll be like next year, but
hey, we might have this might be the only chance we ever get to go to Comic-Con.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'll be tuning into this.
Yeah, no,
because I love being able to sit back and watch these live streams.
We really should.
Well, yeah, we do. We should
Just
now.
Yeah. But anyway, last one on the list. You added this.
This is for movie news. This is an interesting one that I wanted to talk about for maybe 30 seconds.
Yep, do it.
They're speculating, rumor mill is speculating that Hayden Christensen may be returning. Hayden Christensen may be returning to Star Wars as a potential character in the Obi-Wan Disney Plus series.
God damn. Well, I mean, I'm honestly shocked and surprised that he's still alive.
Well, not only that, but like
what has he been doing?
Well, I guess, God, that's distracting. Anybody listening on the podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
YouTube, pick someone blow.
Yeah, go to YouTube and tune in right now.
So Hayden Christensen
may be returning back. Whether it's
anyway, that's our Hayden Christensen discussion for the week. No, I'm sorry.
Whether it's a full role as Darth Vader or whether it's a flashback or a vision, nobody really knows just yet. But despite what everybody says about the Star Wars prequels, they sure did spawn a lot of shit that people are excited about.
That's true.
I mean, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, everybody fucking loved that.
Yes, of course.
Everybody fucking hated Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, but they're going apeshit for him returning as the role.
Exactly.
And they all wanted him to be a Force ghost in the new trilogy, which he wasn't. Spoiler alert. That's what I mean.
I don't fucking know.
That's what I mean. It's just like a lot of people fucking hated those movies and don't care, but now it's all about, hey, there's a possibility of fucking...
It's because we're a culture of having any content we want shoved down our throat in mass amounts. Yeah. So everyone's like, hey, that one thing that I like from that, why isn't there a prequel? Like, you know,
that's right.
Yeah, everyone's just expecting that kind of thing. But with Disney Plus and the amount of shit that they can now do because of the streaming service and all of that, I mean, this is no surprise.
Yeah. Hey, I'm one of those few fans that actually says, hey, I liked Anakin Skywalker. I liked him, his turn into the dark side, essentially. I liked the prequels for their silliness because I was 6 when the first one, episode 1 came out.
That's right.
So I watched those in succession and I really enjoyed them for what they were. So I'm okay with him coming back. But everybody who fucking hated it originally, why are you okay with this now?
You bastards. Exactly.
Stop being such Star Wars fans and be cool for once. Anyway.
No, they're Star Wars fans. They never will. Anyway, so moving on, we have a bit of gaming news this week, which is a lovely turn of events.
Absolutely. So this happened a little earlier. I expected this sort of thing to happen at Comic-Con, but I guess they like to keep these things separately now. So
why the fuck not?
Yeah, so pressstart.com.au has released an article that's basically given a full rundown of all of the trailers released for the latest games coming to the next Xbox Series X.
All right.
I don't believe that these are all Xbox exclusives.
Okay.
Because some of them have been circulating for a few years now in development, but now they're showing off that, okay, we've built this thing from the ground up and we've designed this for next gen. Yeah. And Xbox is the next one to just release some shit.
Okay.
Anyway, first one on the list is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Anybody who's familiar with the Assassin's Creed franchise, I'm not.
No.
But it's set in Valhalla time, which is literal ancestry for me, so I'm actually fucking excited for this.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. I thought it was a made-up word.
No, it's definitely not. Okay. It's Viking heritage. Anyway, I'm really excited for this, but the gameplay looks sick.
Okay.
But the reason that I had another article in this list...
I was going to say mesh those together, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is that they released the full trailer for it where it looks magnificent, but apparently there was only like 3 seconds of trailer in it.
of
gameplay, or at least using the game engine. And I think this is where a lot of even Microsoft have had to apologize for this on Twitter of all things. So what does that even matter?
No, that's right.
But technology and these new upcoming games and next gen things for the last 20 years have been scrutinized every single time they release a trailer that doesn't use in-game footage, because the trailer is supposed to show what the next...
It's supposed to show you what you can do with the game.
It's supposed to showcase, and there is a really good trailer for the one I'll get to in a moment that showcases that brilliantly. And I watched it for the first time and I'm fucking excited for it.
Okay.
Never heard of it until now.
Yeah, okay, good.
But the 3 seconds worth of gameplay, people are pissed because they're like, come on, this is the next gen. It should be lifelike by now, or at least close to it. Why give us a pre-rendered trailer?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why are you producing basically a movie trailer for a game that people can play and use that?
That's right.
It's as simple as that. That should be 101 trailer game making school.
That's right. But it's been happening for like the last 20 years, and developers still do the same thing every single time there's a new gen or a new game.
I do not get it.
It's just, it's baffling to me. But the next one on the list is called Bright Memory Infinite. If you if you're a fan of fast-paced action first-person shooters, also set and looks like a medieval kind of, or not medieval, sorry, like a Ronin time, you know, with samurais, essentially. I'm not really sure what that time period is called. Anyway, it looks like that. It's fast-paced, but the entire trailer looks like gameplay. It looks like somebody's behind a controller.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And it looks fucking sick.
Right.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
Next one on the list, Call of the Sea.
Okay.
I will say, all of these games... in these trailers, they all have a little disclaimer saying what this is showcasing what it's expected to look like upon release.
Okay.
But they all look beautiful.
Okay, so they all live up to that hype and hopefully will continue to be at that level.
That's right. Some of these games that I'm personally not going to probably try out, like this Call of the Sea, for example, it's a first-person adventure puzzle game set in the 1930s.
Yeah.
It's kind of cartoony. It looks really good, but it's not really my thing. Next on the list is another one that I'm probably not going to look into either, but it's called Chorus. It's an immersive single-player experience, tells a mature tale of dark redemption, essentially.
Okay.
It's like a Starfighter thing, so you're basically flying the whole time, but it looks fucking cool and it's futuristic.
Okay, right.
I didn't watch the trailer to Dirt 5 because
why not?
It's racing.
That's like the one, dude.
Listen, every time
that's like the 5th one. Come on.
And a new generation always releases games that are racing based, like Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, Dirt, all of those, and they all look magnificent.
Yeah,
regardless of the console, racing games always look fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
do
why.
really look good.
Yeah, they do. 100%. So there's no reason to go on about that.
Let me guess, you didn't watch Madden NFL 21 either?
I did, but it gave me a different link. I actually watched The Medium instead.
No, I was going to say, that's weird that one's there. But anyway.
The Medium is down. Anyway, that's another kind of horror.
Okay.
Game that I'm looking forward to. I don't really know what it's about either.
Do you know if it's a franchise at all, or
not yet?
A first original?
First original,
okay,
yeah. Scarlet Nexus is kind of like a hack and slash Japanese fighter with a really interesting concept and artwork to it.
Does
all
it
looks
look
beautiful.
like an anime?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's the format of that one.
That's right, but it does look really fucking cool. But the one on the list, which was really piquing my interest, and I think one you should check out the trailer for, is one that I've been waiting for it feels like 10 years now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been that long, but it feels like it. Scorn.
Scorn. I have never heard of that.
So there's been gameplay of Scorn around on PC only for the last few years, where it's been in early development, but I thought it was dead.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 years ago, I thought it was officially dead because we hadn't heard anything from it. They've finally released the Xbox One X, Xbox Series X trailer for Scorn, and I can see why they waited, because it looks magnificent.
Okay.
Now, this is going to encourage anybody who's a fan of what I'm about to say to check this out. Imagine the entire architecture of a game in a first-person setting, but it's completely H.R. Geiger alien-style artwork.
Oh, okay.
That is Scorn. Yeah. It looks fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The art style is beautiful. I don't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
And there is gameplay trailer from years ago, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
I still don't know what's going on, but it's kind of like a shooter. There's puzzles in it. You're trying to find your way out of this really disgusting sort of landscape, and it looks magnificent.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check that trailer out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I doubt you'll play it.
Hey, you've still got to turn me onto something, dude.
Yeah,
We've been talking since the beginning of this podcast.
Didn't work for Death Stranding.
It hasn't happened yet. Exactly. Yeah. You just got to really tell me, do it or you're fired. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
Any more you wanted to talk about?
Next one on the list is Second Extinction, 3-player intense first-person shooter co-op. Anyway, you're basically shooting dinosaurs.
Okay, right.
And people who may be listening to this who are a fan of Turok from the 90s, like there were some early first-person shooters where you're literally shooting dinosaurs that have interdimensional travel. Anyway, it's a bit confusing, but...
Yeah, right. Where's Peter? Why wouldn't they be getting mad about that?
Oh, yeah, true.
Come on.
They're
already extinct. We don't care about
dinosaurs.
them. Oh, okay. So when the last tigers in the wild get extinct, you don't care about them? Come on.
But yeah, anyway, like the original Turok games were super hyper violent, and they looked great because of like that old school style of video game sort of design.
Yeah.
But this looks like a spiritual sequel to that. We haven't had a good Turok game since like 1990 something. Anyway, this isn't that.
I just remembered I read Turok books.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I completely forgot about that.
And so were the early games. They've been remastered for PlayStation and Xbox and PC, and I bought them and they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, I just remember reading those books.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm going to have to play that.
But this game has nothing to do with Turok. It just looks like a spiritual sequel, and I'm keen on that.
Oh, no. I don't care about that. I want to read the Turok books again. They were fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The Ascent as well, action co-op RPG, not really my kind of thing.
No, fair enough.
And then there's the trailer from The Medium, which I think you should check out as well, but it doesn't really give away any gameplay, but it is another horror to look forward to.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's fine. Yeah, you didn't watch Bloodlines?
No, I don't care about
Come
that.
Dance?
And I don't care about Yakuza either. I'm sure that people are. But off that, the next gen looks great. If these trailers are anything to go off, they look fantastic. Absolutely. And yes, that's right. But I think design and the look of a game really comes down to how much detail the developers really want to pack in.
Yes.
Ultimately, doesn't it?
Oh, no, 100%. It all comes down to them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Last bit of news for the week, man.
Yeah.
I sent this one to you because I was so excited because I thought it was fucking around, but it's a legit Telstra job.
Yeah, so in Australia, Telecom, also known as Telstra, essentially, they're our internet infrastructure.
They're the granddaddy.
Telephone and internet infrastructure of Australia, and every other company essentially buys off them, except for maybe Optus. I have no idea.
I think Optus is standalone now.
Yeah, but everyone just leeches off those. Anyway... Telstra have put out, anybody who's interested in Australia, mind you, listening right now, they've put out a job advertisement for a video game reviewer for Xbox.
Yes.
For their own channel. What they've implemented is $25,000 for a person who can make 10 video game reviews between June and November. Who's confident in front of a screen and who can write 300-page or plus reviews on the games, I guess, that they select.
Yeah. Now, this is the part where you tell me you applied last night when I sent you the link.
No, not...
Come on.
Not yet.
Good, man.
Now, the reason not yet is because as of last Friday, when I tried to make our a few videos for our podcast, for our Patreon...
Of course.
My video license software expired.
Yes.
My video software license expired, sorry.
No,
so
that's exactly right.
The job description to apply for it, you have to be confident in front of a camera, you have to write a 300-page review and also record that and send it to them as a video.
Dude.
Right now, I've got nothing to make that video with until the end of the week when my PC parts arrive.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure there's an expiration date for, like, applications, because that's the job.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the job. So, like, as in, you've still got to do a resume in that and get an interview, I imagine, so you don't need to stress about the video software just yet, but, no, I imagine, no, but either way, man, that's you.
Yeah.
That's you. If you don't get this job, there's something wrong.
Listen, there's 100 million people who do the exact same thing.
No, there's not.
But in
they
saying
don't
that,
do it to our level.
But like I even applied when Mick Gordon, the composer for Doom Eternal, like last year, put out an open call for metal singers to come to his studio in Texas to record the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Obviously, he only chose actual professional singers from actual metal bands. But fuck it, I applied because
fuck it, you're on Spotify.
Well, that's the thing. I put my old band as
of course you did.
Yeah. But like it. The way I see this is that there's probably going to be 1 million people going for this and 100 million people working on it. But I started a podcast because I wanted to start a podcast.
That's right.
I started Twitch streaming because I wanted to start Twitch streaming.
Yes, and you didn't listen to me for 12 months, but yes.
But what else was I saying? And there was also another competition, a mixed competition, where a band called Dragged Under. They're kind of like a pop rock sort of punkish kind of
Drug Under?
They released they have what's called a mixed competition where they send you the raw audio of a song called
I saw
Chelsea
this on your Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they say for anybody who wants to apply, mix this for us. And there was like 3 levels of winners. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. So I did it. I haven't won anything.
No, it doesn't matter. It's about
the lesson here is just take a chance regardless of the odds.
That's right, exactly. And I know you're still going to apply for this because it's right up your alley. Yeah. But like you said, there's going to be 100,000 people apply for this. Someone has to win.
Yeah, that's right.
It's as simple as that. Like,
of course.
If you don't win, just go, oh, the odds are against me, or you don't apply because, there's going to be 1 million people. Yeah, but somebody has to win.
Yeah, that's right. You could be that one of the million people. There's 1 in a million chance.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, so yeah, if something like this pops up, take a fucking chance.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would be, but I don't know how to touch an Xbox and I don't own one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's right. Like
that's a bit awky.
So they say like you have to know your Halos from your Minecrafts. It's literally in the description.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like I'm pretty sure I can determine like what games are what, and I know how to talk about them and review them essentially. So I'm going to put together a 300-word review, as they've mentioned, keeping it short. And I'm going to video it and see how I go. And I can also put there that, Twitch streaming and podcast as well.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, a bit of a, how you doing? But no, see, that's the thing. 1, I hate Telstra. 2, like that, this is me personally, not Dylan. We're not affiliated in that sense. I hate Telstra. I'm an Optus boy, have been since I was 12.
Yep.
I own a PlayStation, always have, never touched an Xbox, never owned one. So,
and you only play one game.
Optus, I'm calling out to you for a PlayStation reviewer.
Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
That would be amazing.
If I got the gig for Telstra and you got it for Optus.
Yeah, but could you imagine if a week later Optus is like, yeah, we want a PlayStation reviewer. Yeah, we like games and stuff.
That would work so in our favor.
That'd be amazing. Oh, man, could you imagine that? That'd be so good.
That would be cool.
Anyway, that is the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's everything in that regard.
Is that the show?
Pretty much, but we've got 5 minutes because we've just hit the hour. Yeah, so briefly, what have you watched?
Well, like I said, I watched The Last Dance, but I've already spoken about that, and there's still 4 more episodes to go, so I'll wrap that up when that finishes.
Cool. But the other one you had on your list is one I'm going to be watching myself tomorrow.
Yes.
I wanted to watch it today, but I wanted to get a few other things in, so I'm really interested to hear about it.
I remember when I scrolled through Netflix coming soon, I saw it about a month ago and went, what? I didn't know that was coming. And then it came out because I forgot about it. And Jerry Seinfeld, 23 Hours to Kill, a new stand-up special, which is always exciting coming from him.
Okay, so...
Yep.
Is it good?
It's Jerry Seinfeld.
Okay, so it's good.
It's Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. Like, there's moments in it. See, I've grown up with Jerry. I love Jerry. I've got nothing against Jerry. But I can totally see, as I watch it, I get why people don't like you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
He's got a very...
even don't like the comedy. I get that. Like, but I'm still laughing away.
People have made fun of his style of comedy ever since, like, the early days. And
what's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Listen, and that's his style. He created that, essentially.
Oh, no, exactly.
Fair enough, it became... the standard, but he does it best because he did it first.
No, that's right. So, and not even that it became the standard, it became so synonymous with him. It's almost like if any other comedian says, what's the deal with, they're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck, Jerry, fuck off.
And I hate it when comedians say, what's the deal with pizza boxes? You know,
no,
it's just like, shut up.
No, that's Jerry. don't put those words together like that when you're on stage trying to make me laugh.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
I'll immediately go, you copycat. That's not, no, don't do that. But no, it's fun. Yeah. It's, I had a good time with it. It's exactly what you expect from him, and that a little bit obnoxious, a little bit like,
is it relevant and hates everything, but makes it funny? Is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't think there's anything he says that he enjoys. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's that kind of guy.
He does. That's what he does. There's very few times that he goes, how good is this? Or I love this, So no, it's really good. But it's Jerry Seinfeld. If you enjoy Jerry Seinfeld, you'll have a good time with this. If you're not a fan of Jerry Seinfeld, you won't. Simple as that. The most outstanding thing from the whole thing was the very opening clip is him jumping out of a helicopter into a lake, and how they have these little intro things as they walk on stage, and then as he's walking on stage, like backstage, he takes the wetsuit off and there's the suit underneath.
That's cool.
It's like that. Maybe 15, 20 seconds. Yeah. I guarantee that took 3 days of planning and probably cost about $200,000.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, dead set. I guarantee there was like weeks of planning that.
Yeah,
for 15 seconds.
This is a Jerry Seinfeld Netflix special.
Yeah,
it's not it's not a Pete Davidson special. Right. It's not a whoever else special. It's Jerry fucking Seinfeld, and I'm sure.
Yes.
He's got the know-how and the money and the production behind him to do that kind of thing. So that's fine.
I'm always for new Jerry. I'm always for new Jerry.
Yeah, for sure. And comedy specials.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. We love a good stand-up.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, Dylan, what about yourself? You mentioned earlier that there was one that you were not happy with.
So I've watched 3 things.
Okay.
But I'll keep the first one brief. Yes, okay. I watched Annabelle Comes Home because we were flicking through last night being like, I wanted Taylor. Let's watch it. Let's sit down and watch a movie that we haven't seen. Okay. She's gone through. We found Netflix and we saw it and we thought, that's the one that we haven't watched. You know what? Annabelle Creation was fine. Yep. I really liked that movie. I haven't watched it since, but I really liked it. And I've heard nothing but terrible things about Annabelle Comes Home.
Yep.
Yeah, it's absolute trash.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
The movie was so fucking shit. This is another prime example, like I ranted about with Resident Evil movies a couple of weeks ago, is that the more they make, why do they get worse? You'd think practice makes perfect, but practice makes pathetic.
Yeah.
It's just a shit film.
Yeah.
Everything is... The only thing good about it is the fact that Patrick Wilson and... What's her name? Fucking... The chick who plays Lorraine Warren. What's her name?
Warren Buffett.
She was in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Millie Bobby Brown?
No.
Bryan Cranston.
I can't remember the goddamn name. And I feel disrespectful if I don't say her name. Anyway.
No, that's fine. I'll find it. Yep.
Yeah. Annabelle Comes Home. If you've been thinking about watching it just to kind of cap off the Conjuring universe like we did, just don't. Just do yourself a favor and stick to the first two. Vera Farmiga. Farmiga. Yes. They're fine. Yeah. Because they're in it for 5 minutes.
Of course they are.
But the rest of the film is just absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Essentially, the story is that a young woman enters the house. She's looking to speak to her dead father.
Yeah.
She touches everything in the spooky room. Everything comes to life, but it's being controlled by the Annabelle doll. Oh. But they all survive as children. How deadly can they really be?
Yeah, boo.
Because all they do, just imagine this cup, if you're watching on YouTube, is a demon or a demon vessel. When Annabelle interacts with them, it literally goes... Ooh!
Dylan, there's a ghost.
Yeah.
There's a ghost in here, Dylan. Oh, God, it's back.
Yeah, but
and it's thirsty.
If you were there in the room, you'd be like, okay, that ghost is literally doing nothing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's the evil.
Yeah.
Anyway. But
wait, did it knock the cup off and break it?
No. Not even. So they could even use like shards of a glass to cut a throat. Nothing happened.
A ghost could come in here and actually do that, and I'd be like, hey, stop it. You could throw that against the wall, and I'd be like, you bastard.
Yeah, that's right.
There's 2 levels of emotion there.
Yeah, anyway, the ghosts are nothing to be afraid of in this universe. This whole universe is fucked.
Sounds wonderful.
The one I did watch today, though, which was a surprise hit for me, is a film called Spectral. You may have seen this on the list on Netflix.
I assume I have.
My little description here before I get into the meat of it is that kind of like... The Babysitter that I watched a few weeks ago. The reason it took me so long to watch this is because the poster, it's a Netflix original, but the poster is misleading.
Okay, what's the poster on Netflix?
The poster is like a suit with a helmet and like the spectral sort of film label in front of it with a guy standing behind it with like all the suit on.
Okay, right.
Anyway, that suit kind of gives the impression of a cheap science fiction direct-to-video kind of film.
Very much
And that suit itself you don't see until the third act. However, I read the description and I watched the film and I can safely say this film is anything but a low-budget science fiction slaps together.
Yep.
It's a science fiction military action film about scientists who have been called in by the American military station somewhere in Europe to help identify and fight against an unknown, invisible, and seemingly invincible enemy.
Okay.
If you're a fan of things like Starship Troopers, Infinity, Edge of Tomorrow, and the animated Final Fantasy movie that came out many years ago, for those few who have seen it, this is for you.
Okay.
As I said, the reason I didn't see it is because it kind of gave the impression of a low-budget film, but its budget was $70 million. It's got an incredibly high production value and utilization of practical and special effects.
Yep.
Especially, like, special effects in this film are fucking unbelievable. It did come out in 2016. It's got a pretty good rating on Rotten Tomatoes of 75%. A few of the names, I think one of the actors in it who I've seen in everything that I've liked, Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah.
He's a supporting character in this. You'll know him from Gerald's Game as Gerald.
Yes.
And also in many other films as well.
I feel like Dinner for Schmucks. He was the boss.
Yeah. And he was also in Star Trek, the first reboot.
Okay, right.
As Captain Pike. Anyway.
With Chris Pine.
That's correct, yeah. So overall, Spectral... If you've been avoiding it but wanting a good science fiction action film, definitely watch this one. It's as I said, it's a great film.
Okay.
For one that's kind of slipped under the radar for a $70 million budget, they didn't market this one and I didn't see anything for it. I thought it was just going to... the reason I watched it, I was like, this may be okay.
Yeah.
But I'm tossing it up because...
Take a chance because I'm trying to rinse my mouth from Annabelle.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Exactly.
So that I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're a fan... I don't want to spoil anything because you should watch it yourself if you're a fan of things like Edge of Tomorrow, as I said earlier.
Yep.
It's got that kind of vibe to it. But the other one I watched as well, the only reason I watched this is because it showed up on the recommendations list.
Yeah.
This is a film called A Score to Settle.
Okay. Now, I just looked it up and I see exactly why you chose to watch this.
Absolutely. Now, this does market itself as a direct-to-video kind of film.
Of course.
Starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage and Benjamin Bratt, but mainly Nicolas Cage. The story of a film of a man who's just been released from prison after 19 years for being an accomplice to a murder. He's essentially trying to reconnect to his son after being gone for most of his life.
Yeah.
He's basically out to find revenge on those who set him up to go to prison, but it's actually more than that. At the beginning of the third... Like, I'm serious. This is actually a solid film.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not criticizing that. I'm literally laughing at the concept, like he just spent 19 years in prison for being an associate to murder.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out there and beat people to death.
Well, that's...
Even though I know the risk and consequence of what could happen if I get caught.
Well, that's the thing.
You know
like,
what I mean? Like,
the concept looked kind of silly, but as I was about to say, in the third act, there is a bone-crushing and skin-tingling twist I did not see coming, which makes all of the conquest make so much sense. And the reason that he's trying to come after the people who did him wrong. Yeah. He's trying to reconnect with his son, and basically most of the film is him and his son just broing it up.
Yeah,
like, he's got all of this money, which he had stashed away beforehand, so now he's got like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Lives in a fucking car.
Is it in cash?
Yeah, full cash. It's in a big like burlap bag.
A duffel bag?
Big duffel bag,
Nice.
So besides the revenge tale, which happens primarily at night, it's a fun story of a man and his son just broing it up to try and, like, he's got cash to burn and relive the experiences over the years that he missed out on.
Yes. And more importantly, bonding.
Yeah, it's a fairly run-of-the-mill revenge film, but Nick Cage turns it on.
Yeah.
There is a few awkward moments because he does have like an illness of like chronic insomnia, so there are moments where he's playing up and he's a bit woozy and it's just kind of hard to watch, but overall, the film is overall, don't look at this as your simple direct-to-DVD Nicolas Cage film. Actually give it a chance. Check it out.
Yeah,
it's
I really
a good
do
film.
want to. Where did you watch it, sorry?
Where? On Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Absolutely.
I'm adding that to the watch list right now.
Yeah, definitely do it. And as I said, there's a twist at the end which I did not see coming, which I love a good twist. I was watching this film and I went, holy fuck.
Really?
I had a physical reaction.
Wow.
Because I watched it, if I was to watch it again, you could see it coming a mile away.
Yeah.
But because it was a first time run through, I was like, holy shit, it all matches up.
Yeah.
So
and it makes sense. All right.
A Score to Settle is your run-of-the-mill revenge film about a man trying to get revenge on those who did him wrong, starring Nicolas Cage and a few other name actors as well, but it's good.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend, and I recommend checking it out.
I'm going to watch it purely for the twist. I just added it to my list right then.
Yeah, so it's not just straight, hey, he gets revenge and that's it.
Yeah.
There's other reasons for it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And that has been our show. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add.
No, thank you. I normally say that for the last end.
But that has been our show. Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2C3Pod. Just Google it. We're right there.
That's right. And wherever you're listening to or watching us, thank you so much. Make sure it's on your preferred platform. We're available. Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, and everywhere in YouTube.
Big supply.
Sorry, yes, we're available absolutely everywhere. But make sure you head on over to Apple Podcasts and I believe Stitcher as well. They have review sections. Make sure to write a little something, and we might read it out on air next week.
You know what? We definitely will.
We definitely will. So every single review we get between now and then, we are going to read out next Wednesday on air.
Absolutely, for sure. Now, you can support the show also as well by heading over to tpublic.com or redbubble.com and getting yourself a bit of merch. We've got brand new designs, as we've mentioned. So we've got 2C3 Pod shirts, we've got stickers, we've got mugs, we've got all of that jazz, even face masks. They're activated if you really want them. But most importantly, you can also join us on Patreon. Yay. We've got 3 affordable tiers of Patreon, which gives you little extra goodies and even a free sticker as well, no matter what tier that you join, which you will get now as long as you provide us your address.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, 3 affordable tiers we have this week. Thank you so much to producer Jonathan Best, Hero Alice Redder, and bloody legends Courtney Harris and Muggsy Balone. Thank you so much for your continued support.
Absolutely. So join over on Patreon and get yourself exclusive benefits for 2C3 Pod.
Absolutely. But if you don't want to do that, we do accept one-time donations through PayPal. Two's Company 3's podcast at gmail.com. That's right. 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, $100,000. Whatever works for you works for us. Every dollar we do comes straight back into the show. Or use that email for business inquiries.
Absolutely.
2's Company 3's podcast at gmail.com.
Cool. Now, we do have new podcasts every week. Every fucking week. Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays being news and reviews, like you just witnessed. Head over to Trailer Park, Blast from the Past, or Yas or Past in Friday's episode. We will see you there, of course.
Absolutely. This week is going to be a Trailer Park and a rip-roar one at that.
Absolutely.
But if that's not enough, we also have YouTube, of course. Head on over there, 2's Company 3's a podcast. Subscribe, ring that bell, do all that jazz. We have hours and hours and hours and hours of content. My lord, it does not end.
Absolutely. Now, also, if you're into gaming, streaming, of course, you can certainly find me on twitch.tv/Dylan2C3pod.
That's right. Or myself, twitch.tv/Mitchell_TCTP.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, I streamed Apex Legends the other day.
I saw that pop up and I was like, I would watch, but...
it's only because Warzone wasn't working.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Of course you did.
No, I used to hate it.
Yeah.
I legit loved it. I had a good time and I got raided. I had like 30 followers all at one time.
Fuck yeah. Viewers, you mean?
Viewers, sorry.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And now I've got over 20 followers. It's
boy.
It was awesome. Anyway. So if you're into that sort of stuff, head over to twitch.tv/those links we just said. They're all down below as well. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been a fun Wednesday episode. We'll see you on Friday. My name is Dylan, and as always, with my co-host,
Mitchell. And do not forget, we are Two's Company, and you are the podcast. Oh, man. That was close.
Did it?
Yeah. It was quality. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it was quality content, but no, it was a hell of a good time.
A hell of a good time. So that works.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you everybody for sticking around to the very end. If you have, thank you very much again.
Yes.
So this is where we have a little bit of movie trivia. What's the scoreboard at the moment?
The scoreboard at the moment is I am slagging behind at 8 of 18 and you are 9 of 18. So I have a chance to tie and hopefully you fuck up on Friday and I get back.
Absolutely. So essentially we've had 18 questions so far. So we've been doing trivia for 18 episodes. Wait.
No,
double that.
36 episodes.
36. Wow.
That's right. Wow. 18 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And you'd think being podcasters about film, TV and gaming that we'd have at least 17 of 18 or...
No, that's right. But also we just need to remind people that there's questions in here from like in 1924, which Charlie Day... Like Charlie Day. That's how much we know.
Okay, right. So in the dinner scene from When Harry Met Sally, what did Meg Ryan order?
Damn it. Okay, see, I was going to say the famous fucking line, but that was the other patron. Linguine.
No.
Fettuccine.
Nice try.
I'll have what she's having.
No. Chef salad and an apple pie.
Hey, thanks for checking out that video of Two's Company, Three's a Podcast. We really appreciate it. Wasn't it really something? Why don't you drop a comment down below while you're still here on what you thought about that video. And once you're done, go check out the next video. Feel free to hit subscribe as well. I think it'll be a really good investment for your future.